Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in the state of hockey. In the previous episode, we didn't battle, we kind of just smushed the Nashville Predators in a complete sweep. Game number 1, overtime, 4-3. Anthony Francis with a hat trick, tying the game with 50 seconds left in that third period. Game number 2, we wiped them off the floor. Or we wiped them on the floor? I don't know how that phrase goes. Game number 3, bit closer. I kind of goofed that game up. I simulated the first period, then the second period, and accidentally the third period. Whoop-de-doo, it happens, but we won, and that's all that matters. We got that W. Okay. Game number 4 in Nashville, 6-2 victory. It was a relatively easy series for how well constructed the Predators are. I've gone up against worse teams and have had a worse time against them. I don't know how this game works. I guess they struggled during the regular season, though morale could have been terrible. They were 500 going into the postseason. They kind of just ended up here on accident. They weren't anything too special in the postseason, and we just kind of smushed them. You know, after our own problems in the regular season, we really banded together, winning a President's Trophy. We had a great year all around. We were really damn... not all around. The half... I don't know, I'm speaking. I'm speaking and my mind went, ugh. Half of the season was well. January onwards was great. Everything prior to that was pretty bad. Almost 400 goals. Almost 400 goals. Our power play was at 35%. Our penalty kill was to be desired. But we're here for a reason. I want to see how the Wild did through 4 games. Our stats aren't going to be anything super crazy, but I'm expecting some big things from some key players. Alexei Pietrangelo had quieter games number 1 and 2, but he just popped off. He was super important during the entire series. 2 straight years he's won the Conn Smythe. 2 straight years we've been Stanley Cup champions. I should have said that the opposite. I should have said Stanley Cups and then Pietrangelo. But it doesn't matter, because a Stanley Cup is a Stanley Cup, and he has been the biggest contributor to that. I would say if we win another Stanley Cup and he wins the Conn Smythe, he is the most clutch player in Minnesota Wild history. Anthony Francis, yeah, give him all the credit in the world. But Pietrangelo, 3 straight Conn Smythes. He's making a run for it, baby. He might have not won it last year because Jack Eichel, but I'm glad Pietrangelo won it. He's been big so far. Cale Newman quietly has been very, very impressive. +4, 0 penalty minutes. 2 goals, 1 game winner. That's all that really matters, am I right? One of the most underrated players in franchise history. At the end of this guy's career, man, he's going to be... Oh, he hit 666 points this regular season. That was his last point. He's a machine. He had his 2nd best season ever. Very underrated with Minnesota. Alexei Oh, sorry. What? My brain was just wired to say Pietrangelo. Anthony Francis had a great round number 1. You know, last year he wasn't mediocre, but he wasn't Anthony Francis. 17 points in 20 games, not bad. Could have been better. I want years like 34 points in 25 games, 26 and 20, 25 and 23. I want series. I want rounds like that from him. 5 points in 4 games, a hat trick in game number 1. It's the reason we won game number 1, and he was important in his own right. Kaprizov quietly being the captain that we all know and love. 6 penalty minutes, a little too much, but 2 power play goals. He's the cap. What are you supposed to say about that? Sergei Gogolev, quietly, very, very impressive. He's up to an 88 overall. 2nd line forward. Power forward, medium elite, 22, and we have to re-sign him this season. His best statistical season He's having growth. He's going to ask for a bit of money, but the best news about that is we traded Jack Eichel last season for this reason alone, to get him into a better position to grow. You know what? You can complain maybe they didn't balance as well out on the second line. He almost had a 30-goal year. He rebounded very, very nicely to the previous 2 seasons. He's only 22. He's got plenty of time to thrive here in the NHL. Look at his shooting category. He can be a beast. He has been great. Lionel Waters. I don't know what's in the water, but Lionel continues to be one of the best third-line producers in the entire NHL. As a playmaker, playmakers rarely work in the bottom 6 that I've noticed, especially if you don't have the right coach. But Lionel Waters having his best season ever on the third line, 22 power play points. That was a big reason why he succeeded so much. I'm glad he's been important so far. Lewis Langweeder, quiet, but 3 points plus 4. 0 penalty minutes, as long as you're not terrible. Chris Griffin was also really, really good. Pete Curry with the 1 goal, but the 1 overtime winning goal in game number 1 that set the series on a great path. Bobilev, -2, 1 goal. I don't know if I see this guy long-term on this team, because he's not the best defensively. I mean, he's a physical brute, but hopefully he turns that defensive play around. Hadfield had 0 points. Kolyakovo was very unnoticeable. But we got the series win. That's all that really matters to me. Defensemen. You know, the defensemen were relatively quiet. The only back-end goal came from Brandt Clark, and I want to say game number 4. Game number 3. Yeah, game number 3. Quinn Hughes with 4 points, winning another Norris this season. Don't even do the award show, because he's already won it. He doesn't have to show up. He sends his wealthy trainer that he just sends. It's like, hey, dude, can you go for me? Great, I'll pay you $20 million if you... Good. Quinn Hughes has that bank. 31 years of age. 4 more years left on that $11 million deal. At the end of his career, if he continues at this pace somehow, where does he rank all-time among defensemen? Because currently he has around, or I want to say just over 1,000 points. If he keeps up at this pace for the rest of his contract, 35, doesn't mean he's going to necessarily retire. Let's say he averages a point per game the rest of his career. Dude is one of the best, if not the best, defenseman of all time. Especially if he continues to win Norris's, I'm gonna play this guy until he drops dead. It's a fact. Brandt Clark was great. 5 penalty minutes though, a little too many. Mironov, quietly great. Bissonnette was really good as well. Pearson, who's quiet, but he wasn't a detriment to this team. Harry Parrish, no points, -2, but somebody's got to take the fall on this team. Pretty good round from each end of the ice. But goaltending. Tallender wasn't the best, and somebody had to go ahead and flush a toilet. It's every time I start recording, somebody's like, flush! I gotta take a big deuce. It's whatever. He had a great goals against. Save percentage is to be desired. But a 230 goals against in the postseason can definitely win us some games. We're going to score way out of trouble if our offense continues keeping up the pace like they have been. If we continue scoring at the rate that we're playing at, then we should be relatively okay. The postseason so far, let's talk about it. Round number 1, Colorado beat Chicago in 5. I would have loved to play Chicago again, but either series would be fun. We swept Nashville. LA came back from a 2-0 deficit against the San Jose Sharks, and the Winnipeg Jets beat the Vancouver Canucks in 5. I'm cheering for Von Sieg there in LA. I would love to battle out a subscriber-created player in the Western Conference Finals, but hey, we're not there yet. I don't want to talk about it too much because I believe in voodoo. The Eastern Conference. The New York Islanders beat the New Jersey Devils in 6. The Rangers get past Philadelphia in 6 as well, so both New York teams went almost the distance, and they will be playing each other in a second-round bout. Montreal lost to Florida in 6, and Buffalo beat Toronto in 6. So the East definitely has some longer series. So Buffalo, Florida, New York, LA, Winnipeg, and Minnesota versus the Avalanche. Round number 2 is going to be exciting for each conference. The Colorado Avalanche went 52, 27, and 3. Very similar to Nashville, as in they went 500 in their last 10. So a lot of these Western teams kind of limped their way into the postseason, kind of like they're not playing the best hockey. They're kind of shutting down Stars for the postseason. But I am 100% scared of the Colorado Avalanche. I didn't mean to press edit lines, but yeah, Colorado is 100% a dangerous team. I already know that. I don't even have to look at their lineup to know that they are a dangerous squad. Obviously, we have some history with them. If you don't know, I believe the first ever postseason bout was the first ever time Minnesota made it in the postseason was against the Avalanche, and Patrick Waugh's last game ever was against Minnesota. We have a lot of history. You can go back. A bunch of our postseason runs feature the Avalanche. We usually get past them. We haven't really not gotten past them since our first few years as general manager. But what am I looking at here in Colorado in 2031? Joe Linon, 27 years of age, former first overall pick in 2022. That stacked draft. He's a great first-line center, but when you have wingers like Alex Newhook and Mikko Rantanen at your wing, you should be damn excited to be a center for the Avalanche. You know you have a great center depth when Nathan MacKinnon, even though he's 35, is on your second line. This guy is going to show up each and every single night for the Avalanche. He's been posting a point per game for the last decade, 2 decades. He's been the man. Legitimately, for the Colorado Avalanche, he is probably their captain at this time. He is definitely the man. You also have weaker wingers with Nathan MacKinnon, but Nathan MacKinnon, at the complete reverse of the first line, he can make stars out of absolutely anybody. Vatili Abramov, and you got Eetu Lustranen. Not terrible wingers, but you definitely need a little bit of oomph on that second line. But Nathan MacKinnon is Nathan MacKinnon. Fourth line, you have a Columbus Blue Jackets franchise mode legend in Big Texas, Alexander Texier. Would love to have him here over in Minnesota, but I'm glad he's having a resurgence here in Colorado, being in Detroit there for 37 games, hopping over to Colorado. He's been a really good player there for Colorado. It's funny because both of our team's third-line centers have exactly the same amount of points in the regular season, 66. His wingers, you have Philip Ramirez, 25, not a bad-looking prospect. I would consider moving him up to that second line. You also have Anthony Morant. Fourth line, you have Dylan Gambrell, Miles Wood, and Nathaniel Ling. It's a pretty solid forward core, but obviously they're leaning on their big guys like Leanan, Newhook, MacKinnon, and Rantanen. They're definitely leaning on some of their older guys, definitely. I mean, the youngest person in that top 6, other than the wingers on the second line, is Leanan, 27. And then it goes Newhook, Rantanen, and then MacKinnon. That's not a bad forward core, though. I get why they're here. Their big stars are important. Defense, and their defense is one of the best in the league, especially their top 4. Samuel Girard, Cale Makar. I mean, everybody's debating, oh, should Cale Makar or Quinn Hughes get the Norris in IRL this year? Who should it be? Cale Makar, in my opinion, just because he missed so many games and he's just such a talented defenseman. But Matter of the fact is they're both going to be phenomenal defensemen in the simulation. It just happens to be that Quinn Hughes is a messiah. Cale Makar is trying to help the Avalanche get to the Western Conference Finals. He's definitely their cornerstone defenseman. You also have Bowman Byram, highly touted prospect out of the WHL. And then you have Pierre Parise. Why is that such a hard name to say? PP? Ha! That's his initials. PP. I'm such a child. 87 overall, 22 years of age, medium elite. It's a really good top four. And then on their bottom pairing, you have Markku Penttikainen. And then you have Andrew Nielsen. You know, you don't need the best bottom pairing defenseman. As long as you have your cornerstone guys and middle of the pack guys like Bowman Byram, you should be A-okay. It always comes down to strong goaltending, and we know who it is. It is Christian Rensfeldt, and former Minnesota Wild starter and Capo Kakkonen. Or Kakkonen. Christian Rensfeldt was traded to the Avalanche not too long ago. I believe for picks. My long-term memory is weird right now. I don't know why. I can't really remember anything in this game because it's been so long since I recorded those episodes. Traded him, I want to say, around the draft. Was really good for the Avalanche this year. I want to say he was leading the league in save percentage and goals against the majority of the year. He might even take home the Vezina this year. 43 wins is a very impressive season. Not a bad goaltending duo. As the scratch players, you have Jean-Christophe Boudin, Maxime Letonov, and then Curtis Douglas, 6'8", mega beast, I was gonna say 620 pounds, 260 pounds. My bad. That's a very well-constructed Avalanche squad. I get why they would have worked in the regular season. I also see the opposite side and see why they would have struggled and gone 500. But when their big stars come out to play, they are hard to beat. But I all know what you're here for. Before I get to that, there's a bunch of polls in the description about a future franchise mode, a bunch of things like that. I'd appreciate it if you'd go check the links out. Consider subscribing because this channel's lovely. I love you guys so much. But I know what you're here for. Game number 1, home ice advantage. Welcome to the XL Energy Center. First period. 1-1, Nathan MacKinnon opens the scoring on the power play. Sergei Gogolev ties it. About a quarter left in the first period. Shots are pretty low, 9-7 in favor of Colorado. Okay, Nathan MacKinnon, you know he's dangerous, man. Somebody just take your skate blade and chop one of his ankles off. Make him like Erik Karlsson. Second period. Yikes. Pierre, why is that such a weird name to say? Pierre Parise, PP, breaks the 1-1 game. Nathan MacKinnon makes it a 2-goal lead. Shots are in their favor, 19-12. We've been bad this game. We've been legitimately bad. I can't really blame the goaltender right now. 3 goals shouldn't be the end of us. We should be able to outscore our opponents all the time. But when they get strong goaltending like Christian Rensfeldt, I might eat my words. And we will drop game number 1, it looks like, on home ice. We are down 1-0 in the series. Their first star this evening, MacKinnon. I'd probably give it to Rensfeldt. He really shut us down now. Don't get me mad, man. Don't. I don't plan on losing this series. I don't plan on ever losing a series. But come on, Minnesota. Game number 2. Don't make me pull the lever and go best lines because I know what... I mean, last year we pressed best lines and we won the series and the Stanley Cup. First period. Damn it. Minnesota, a poor start again. A 2 goals against period. Rantanen and Abramov on the power play. Our penalty kill has been brutal. Yeah, I'm going best lines next game if we can't win this one second period. Okay, we get 2 goals back. Mikko Rantanen, Quinn Hughes on the power play, Dylan Gambrell, Langweeder gets it to do 2 goals. Okay, third period underway. It's a relatively close one. We have the scoring touch to bring this one back. Long friggin' power play, and they shut us down. Abramov! God dang it, Minnesota. Tallender, can you please shut it down for once? I mean, Christian Rensfeldt, you're better overall than him. Explain that to me. It doesn't make sense, but when Rensfeldt's on our team, he plays like legitimate garbage. We drop game number 2, and we're going best lines. They absolutely crush us through 2 games. We're down 2-0. Minnesota, please. Don't do this to me after a rebound half season. We get it done. We win the President's Trophy, and now we're down 2-0 to the Colorado Avalanche. Okay. Game number 3, Pepsi Center. We drop both at home. Let's see if we can get a little bit of luck in the Mile High State, or is it City? Whatever. Each one. First period. 2-0. Big. Alexei Petrangelov coming for a 3rd straight Conn Smythe because he's a beast. 2-0 lead. Almost 20 shots through 20. That's a shot per minute. A big, big period there. Let's continue the fun second period. I will take it. You know, they get a few shots back. 28-16, still in our favor. 2-0, I will take it heading into the third. It's not a huge lead, but it's better than being down Mikko Rantanen early. Cody Tallender, do your job for once. We can never get a goaltender to Cody Tallender, man! Why can't I get a goalie to love me? Never! Ever! Power play for Colorado. Oh my god. Oh, Minnesota. You are 1 goal away from either cutting the series lead in half or being down 3-0. 3-0. I know we're a great team and all, but we don't have the willpower right now to make that climb. We're obliterating them in shots, 43-27. We can never get a goalie to shut it down. Ever. Ever. And then they go to another team and put up Vezina seasons. This game is weird. Overtime frame. I'm done talking. Come on, if we want to... I have nothing in me right now. I would be more mad, but this game doesn't surprise me. We go ahead and win a President's Trophy, and now we're laying on our backs. Sprawled out. Legitimately nothing. No fight after a phenomenal first round. We're now 3-0 to one of our biggest rivals ever. Yes, Colorado, I said it. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say. I really don't. We've been bad, man. For the love of God, can one of our goaltenders ever shut it down for us? Am I going Mackey? Am I going Mackey? Is there a goaltender in the AHL? Maybe Pettersson wants to come up and play well. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe the 74 overall Sizik would play better than Cody Tallender. It's all on you. You know what? I'm going to continue playing with you. Show up. At least don't be the reason we lose, because right now it's on you and all the offensive players. We went into the third period up 2-0. That should be easily enough for this team to win. Game number 4. Down 3-0. Are we going to get a little bit of magic? Or are we going to drop this series? First period. No fight. No fight. No fight. 7 shots on Cody Tallender and you let in a goal. No excuse, Tallender. Your rope, your leash is very, very short right now. But Owen, you complain so much at your goaltender that you straight Stanley Cups. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This game makes no sense, man. Tallender, why can't we get a goalie like Kavanaugh in Columbus? That was a beast. A legitimate beast. Maybe we start looking other places. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Second period. Minnesota, you goons! Please, have a little fight. A little bit. Tie game. Captain ties it up. Oh my God. Minnesota, please. Pete Curry. First round game winner in the first overtime of the playoffs. Kaprizov with a power play goal. Chris Griffin with an empty netter. We overcome a 2-goal deficit in the third period. We did exactly what they did to us in game number 3. Okay. We're still down. Our backs are up against the wall. If we make 1, 2, 3, 4 mistakes, it's over. We're packing up the bags. We're heading into the offseason, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this squad. I think we just need to keep moving forward. Yes. Oh, and sometimes you have a bad simulation. Sometimes we're a 58-win team. You don't just win 60 games in a season and go out and perform like that. But you don't have Eichel. Look at our squad. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. We performed so much better against not an arguably better, a better Nashville Predators team. They were worse than the regular season, but look at how good they were. On paper, Nashville was better than Colorado. Stop complaining, Owen. You complain too much, Owen. It's a video game, they said. It'd be fun, they said. They lied. First period. 0-0. Our offense has been not noticeable. They've been terrible. Except for last game. Yeah, they've been... This is one of the worst series we've ever played. Ever. I mean, ever. Back to our first few years in the postseason, they were bad. But this is garbage, Minnesota. Second period. 2-1. Alexei Petrangelov doing legitimately everything in his power to keep this team above water. Opens the scoring. Mikko Rantanen ties it. Petrangelov gets us back the lead on the power play. They're out shooting us 29-21. This is on one man. I'm not even going to say his name because it's not even worth it. Minnesota. Minnesota. Come on, Minnesota. Minnesota. Power play. Come on. Kaprizov with a big goal, just like last game. Makes it 3-1 on the power play. Quinn Hughes with a late goal. I'll take it either which way. Pad your stats, even though the series could end a little short. Even though we're heading to game number 6. Lewis, goddamn Langletter, no! Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks, man. We lose Langweeder. Who's coming up? Who's getting the call up? Yeah, don't even look at the AHL lineup right now. It's kind of like... bleh. Who's getting the call up? Who's getting it? It's Jesper Olsen. Do you see that? Do you see that offensive awareness? He's getting the call up. You could play Steffens, but I'm really feeling this kid. I mean, we could go Leduc. He's not even that bad. We're gonna give it to Olsen. We're gonna give it to Olsen. I don't know. Something in my mind's telling me go with Olsen. We're gonna go best lines because apparently it worked. We're gonna go into the NHL, press best lines, fix it up accordingly. Pietrangelo will go back there on the first line. Kolyakov, oh god, that's... Did they not even put... They didn't, okay. Lino Waters. Lino Waters will stay on that second line. No. Yes. We're gonna get Olsen in here. This could just kill us. It could. Olsen's gonna get second line time. We're gonna give it to the kid. If he goes out there and proves himself, $10 million contract. Right there, baby. This could be the biggest mistake we've ever made. But you know what? Our backs are against the wall. Still. Let's go, Minnesota. Game number 6. First period. Colorado. They opened the scoring. 2 straight goals, less than a minute apart. Talander? When are we going to find the goalie, man? When are we going to find the goalie? Tell me when that's going to happen. Tell me when that's going to happen. Talander, show up for once in your useless life. But you're an NHL player. Show up! Alexei Pietrangelo cuts the lead in half. Second period. Oh, thank God. Anthony Francis gets a goal. Hadfield, depth, I'll take it either which way. Kaprizov takes the lead. Parise makes it a 1-goal game. Talander gives up a late period goal. How many times is he going to have to do that? Shots are pretty even. Third period, we have a chance to force game number 7. Pietrangelo, they pulled Rensfeld a while ago. Thank you, Pietrangelo, you Russian-American bee. Speaking of Russians, Kaprizov gets on the board. 6-3. I'm not getting excited at all because they're going to hurt my feelings. They're really going to hurt my feelings. 7-3 victory in game number 6. 5 points for Pietrangelo. He's willing this team. After we started the series down 3-0, the biggest deficit to be in a series, we force a game number 7. Langweeder, get your butt right in there. We're going Pietrangelo up there. Trust this squad. Game number 7. Minnesota, you are on the verge of completing history. History. Do you realize how big this moment is for Minnesota? After all the Stanley Cups, this is arguably more impressive. Being down 3-0. Do it. You've forced game 7. Let's finish it. First period, come on. Minnesota, power play early, come on. We gotta get a few goals early. Kaprizov, the captain, a big goal to start this game. Anthony Francis on the board. I'm not getting excited at all. I'm not getting excited. Nope. Colorado, we killed it off. Please just get out of the first 20 minutes without a goal against. Thank you. I'm not even gonna name names. Two of our biggest players come in clutch with 2 first period goals. Shots are dead even, but it's 2-0. Second period, come on, make it 3-0. Minnesota, make it 3-0. Somebody step up power play for Colorado. Joe Leanon, however you want to say it, cuts the lead in half on the power play. Big Texas ties the game. Oh, Talander, how many times are you going to have to do this to me, man? How many times are you going to have to hurt my feelings? Kaprizov takes the lead in the second pod. You goon, Talander, you goon. You goofball Magundy. You blew it. You blew it again. How many times are we going to have this conversation, dude? How many times? How many times are we going to have this conversation with you, Talander? Talander, you were the future. You're here in the present. And you're blowing it. And you're gonna not have a future in Minnesota. And then we're gonna trade you to a team and you're gonna be a Vezina winner. Obviously, because this is how this game works. It comes down to this. 3-3, Game 7. Okay. Come on. Talander, you perish. Waters, please, power play for Colorado. Oh my God, please, Minnesota. Is the comeback complete? Numanen, he shows up. Numanen, yes. Numanen, Gogolev, Kaprizov. The comeback is complete. Minnesota reverse sweeps Colorado when all hope was lost. Everybody comes up big, except one man, whatever your name is, Talander. Oh my God. Oh, this series. Oh my God, the biggest comeback in Minnesota sports history. I'm not sure about the Minnesota Twins, but you know what I mean. I don't know why I'm not more hyped. I think my heart's just broken. It's broken. This team has hurt me a lot. We were down 3-0. What other reason did I have to be happy? I didn't. I didn't have one reason. I hit best lines. We still lose. We win 4 straight. Going to that third period, letting up that early third period goal, it's over. No. Everybody pitches in. From the bottom 6 to the top 6 to the defense. Rensfeldt holds... not Rensfeldt. Rensfeldt for Colorado blows it for them. Multiple times. The Minnesota Wild are moving on to the Western Conference Finals after the biggest comeback, and we will be playing the comeback kings themselves, the LA Kings. That is going to be a phenomenal third round series. My brain is all over the place. I am so done. But the Stanley Cup playoffs are not over. Before I wrap this one up, I want you to go into the description. I want you to check the links out. It's for a future franchise mode. I'd really appreciate your support. I always appreciate your support. The comments, the likes, you sharing it, subscribing. I want to get to 600 before January 1st, 2021. I wish I could skip 2020, but maybe we can make it good and positive in some aspects. Stay safe, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.